We are on the Magic Wand and Landscape Selections project. You will need to open up the directions for the Magic Wand document. That will give you a list of the directions for this project, showing you the objective and step-by-step directions if you need them. The actual image you will need, or images, you will need the Shape Image PSD, which is already a Photoshop document. If you're in Google Chrome, you will just click on the drop-down arrow and say Open, and that will go right into Photoshop for you. The other document you will need is Landscape, and this is actually a JPEG image, so what happens when you click on that is it opens as a new tab. So what you'll need to do is right-click, Save Image As, just as you were saving from the internet, and you will locate your USB drive and save that there. You will toggle back to Photoshop, and you will have the landscape image as well as the shape image. The two tools, well, the one tool that we are going to be working with first is the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool is located in your Selections section, and if you click and hold, it is located with the Quick Selection tool. So we already learned a little bit about that, and now we're going to look at the Magic Wand. Magic Wand, what that does is select by solid color. So all of these colors on this screen right now, on this paper or canvas, they have solid colors. So you have white, you have orange, and you have blue. And you can click on any of these colors and it will select the entirety of that color. Now if I were going to click on this landscape picture, this has greens, but they are tints and tones of greens, okay, or tints and shades. So if I click, there are various tones of this green. So there are lights, there are dark, so it doesn't pick up the entire green area. So the only purpose for using the Magic Wand is if you would have something that shows solid color, such as this. So what I am asking you to do is to select each of these orange pieces and copy and paste them separately, so they have separate layers, onto this white piece on the right. So I'm going to just start in the left corner and work my way down. So just as a refresher, how you copy and paste, you will select whatever it is you want to copy. You go to Edit, Copy. The keyboard shortcut is Control-C. And then you will go back up to Edit, Paste. The keyboard shortcut for Edit, Paste is Control-V. Now once you have that copy, the way Photoshop works is it copies directly over top, it pastes directly over top where it copied from. So I'm going to just move this over to my white blank area. So I now have to finish by doing the same thing for the rest of these. The only thing I have to remember is to go back to my background layer to make sure I'm selecting off of that layer, because otherwise there is nothing to select because this is on a separate layer. So I'll go to my background layer, get on my Magic Wand, click on the next area I want to select, and I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut. So Control-C, Control-V. Go to my background layer, click on this, Control-C, Control-V. And you can see they are pasting in separate layers. I will move them all at the end. Go to my background layer, Control-C, Control-V, background layer, Control-C, Control-V, background layer, Control-C, Control-V. Okay, now if I go to my Move tool, I can choose to have Auto Select on, and what that will do is it will allow me to click on any of these selections and move it over. If I do not have Auto Select on, I will then have to choose between the layers before I move them. So what I would like you to do is make some sort of creature or object out of these selections. So let's see here, and you can use, you'll notice every time I click on an object I get a bounding box, and what that is your transform box, and the reason that is showing is because I have show transform controls checked. Okay, if that is not checked, you will not see that bounding box. So you can either, if you want to resize something, you can go to Edit, Free Transform, and that bounding box will show up. Or you can simply check Show Transform Controls. Either way will work. So I think I will use this as maybe the hair. And I'm going to use Shift and go from the corner to resize. Now keep in mind, I don't want you just pulling and stretching these out of shape. If you do that accidentally, just let go, click on any tool and say don't apply, and it'll go back to its original form. So that is one restriction. I want you to keep them in correct proportion by holding Shift and only dragging from the four corners, not the sides. So once you're happy with the way you have it selected and transformed, you will click OK. I'm going to move on. I think this is going to be the face. It's going to be a little abstract. Enter, and I'm going to have this as sort of the eyeball. Okay, this I think, let's see here. I think I'll make these the legs. To turn, you just bring your mouse right off the edge, and you can turn your object any way you wish. I'm going to try to make it look like it is walking or running. And then maybe this will be my sort of arm that is saying or waving hello. Now keep in mind, you can make whatever you wish. You just are not allowed to stretch any of these shapes. You can resize them, but they need to stay in correct proportion. So once you are completed with this part, you will move on to the next piece. Okay, you would want to save this to your USB drive, so File, Save As. This PC, your USB drive, which should show up right here, and you'll want to save it as last name underscore shape. Always hit OK when this box pops